Y News with William Theo, Angelo Castro III, and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. The Provincial Health Office of Albay reports that some water sources of evacuees in Albay are contaminated with coliform bacteria. Here's why from Mon Hokson.
Based on the quality water analysis of the Provincial Health Office of Albay, 30 out of 42 water sources of evacuees in Albay are contaminated with coliform bacteria. Coliform is a kind of bacteria that is found in feces of humans and warm-blooded animals. Some water sources of evacuees, such as water pumps, has been found to be positive of coliform bacteria. The PHO says they have recorded 40 cases of diarrhea in evacuation centers in Albay. This number, however, is small in proportion to the 80,000 evacuees.
So ibig sabihin, contaminated ito ng fecal material. So magtatay po sila nito, pwedeng sumakit ang tiyan, and lalo na kung marami itong na-ingest nila na tubig, baka ma-hospitalize sila, pwede silang ma-dehydrate because of loss of water.
PHO advises the evacuees to get drinking water from authorized water refilling stations. Based on reports, the 18 water refilling stations that supply drinking water to evacuation centers passed the water quality analysis.
Lahat ito malinis. So wala silang problema sa pagtatae kung inumin man nila ito.
Upon doing rounds in one evacuation center, the UNTV news team chanced upon the bedridden son of baby Anne.
Ayaw niyang bumangon kasi masakit ang ulo niya.
She already consulted a doctor and was advised to be careful in giving food and drinking water to her son. That is why baby Anne only gets drinking water from the authorized water refilling station. But the problem is that many evacuees still get their drinking water from water pumps and deep wells, thinking these are safe sources. The Provincial Health Office reminds the evacuees that the water refilling stations are the only safe source of drinking water given their current situation. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Kamalig, Albay.
Meanwhile, the Department of the Interior and Local Government has warned local chief executives in the 9-kilometer extended danger zone. Mai Bermudez is in Legazpi City, Albay, to tell us why live. Yes, Mai, good evening.
Yes, Will, local chief executives are the ones responsible in convincing the residents in the extended 9-kilometer danger zone to go to evacuation centers here in Albay. And if proven that there is a neglect of duty, there will be consequences. Barangay Mabinit, situated in the 8.25-kilometer danger zone and one of the areas being monitored by FIVOC since Alert Level 4 was raised in Albay, is now like a ghost town. Despite this, some residents would rather go back and stay to their homes due to the sanitation problems in evacuation centers, while some choose to go back to their farmlands and tend their fields.
Ayaw mag-evacuate.
Inaano lang namin, ayaw nyo, bala kayo, ganyan lang.
Yung PNP na lang ang nagpapalika sa kanila, yung mga matigas ang ulo.
According to the Department of the Interior and Local Government, barangay captains should go around the areas in the extended 9-kilometer danger zone to ensure that evacuees are already in evacuation centers. They must ensure and list those who have gone back to their homes.
Yung punong barangay ay napatunayan na hindi in-inform. Kasi you cannot actually check on them all the time. Mahirap po yun eh. Pero ang amin po ay meron ba ang punong barangay na proof na sinabihan nila yung mga tao nila ng danger. Advice ko sa punong barangay, pumunta ka sa Army, sa PNP para matulungan ka. Yun ang magiging proof mo na ginawa mo yung tungkulin mo. Hindi mo lang siya basta pababayaan na ayaw niya, diwag niya.
Yes, Will, the DALG warns that barangay captains may face gross negligence charges should they fail to perform their duties and protect the welfare of their constituents. And this may be a valid ground for them to be removed from office. Back to you, Will.
Thank you very much, Mai Bermudez, live from Legazpi City, Albay. The Provincial Health Office of Albay is studying the possibility of prohibiting the selling of cooked meals at evacuation centers. Joan Nano will tell us why.
The Albay Provincial Health Sanitation Office is strictly monitoring the vendors selling food items at the temporary shelters, especially since it may cause a spread of disease among evacuees.
So, ang inano po namin kung pwede, kumbaga sa ano yung mga nakabalot lang ang pwede talagang itinda. Pero yung mga niluluto talagang binabawal na.
This after the health personnel recorded 40 cases of diarrhea among evacuees. Aside from diarrhea, local health officials are also worried of possible food poisoning.
Sa dami ng mga tao, madami din nagsasamantala na magnegosyo. Kaya minsan hindi natin masabi kung sila ba ay nag-o-observe ba ng food sanitation na baka biglang magkaroon tayo ng mass food poisoning dahil nga po sa pagkakain ng mga pagkain coming from ambulant vendors.
Teachers are also helping the Provincial Health Office in monitoring the cleanliness and quality of food being sold at temporary shelters.
Meron na akong napalayas na 3 na evacuee talaga sila na wala silang sanitary permit. And then meron tayong mga vendors na tagalabas na pumapasok. So, tinitingnan ko yan. Sabi ko, hindi kayo pwedeng magtinda dito. So, lahat sila lalabas. Hindi pwede.
Vicky Riparip is in favor of the said move. She's one of the vendors allowed to sell food items at this evacuation center.
Kasi linilinis naman talaga namin kasi pagkain ng mga bata yun.
Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Manila City Health Department wants to allay the fears of parents and students at a private school in Manila about the alleged outbreak of meningococcemia. Here's why from Aiko Miguel.
A private school in Manila was gripped in panic after the death of its grade 3 student last Saturday due to the bacterial infection called meningococcemia. According to Dr. Eduardo Serrano Jr. of the Manila City Health Office Division of Preventable Diseases, they have talked with the management of the school and even the community where the child and her family reside.
Wala naman pong outbreak ng meningococcemia. We are in a 10-day monitoring surveillance for all of the classmates ng batang namatay sa meningococcemia plus yung 10-day surveillance din doon sa mga kapitbahay niya sa malapit sa residence niya.
City Health personnel also distributed prophylaxis to other students and community members to protect themselves from contracting the infection. The Department of Health or DOH calls on the public to remain calm amid the situation.
Wala naman binigay na pagbabala at pagpapayo na ipagpaliban muna yung klase. Ang importante talaga sa atin is alam natin ang kondisyon ng mga anak natin. Kung may nararamdaman na kakaiba, patingin ka agad.
Naninawagan kami sa mga magulang noong naging close contact ng bata. Napapasukin na nila yung mga anak nila kasi safe naman ang school. Nagawa na lahat ng precautionary method para hindi na magkaroon uli ng panibagong kaso.
Officials and personnel of the City Health Office will return to the school next week to check on the condition of its students and teachers.
Regardless naman kung meningococcemia to o ibang karamdaman, ang palagi natin sinasabi, di ba, kung merong naramdaman, may nakitang kakaiba na hindi likas na nakikita sa atin o sa pasyente natin, ipatingin na nila kaagad. Huwag ipagwalang bahala.
Symptoms of meningococcemia include headaches, coughs, body aches, rashes, weakening body, dizziness, and stiff neck. The management of the private school has yet to comment on the matter, but according to the Manila City Health Office, they are coordinating with other concerned agencies for the monitoring and surveillance of the students and teachers. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte is still studying the proposal of the Social Security system that seeks to increase the SSS premium contribution. Presidential spokesperson says, although the increase may seem relevant, the president is also weighing the social cost that calls for such a move.
Studying the matter he knows that SSS, the viability of the SSS is a matter of actual science, and he may have to increase, but he's weighing also the social cost of the increase. So, humingi po na executive order na ang SSS, hindi pa po binibigay ng Presidente, pinag-aaralan po.
However, Anak Pawi's party list Representative Ariel Casilao calls on the President to not approve the proposal. Casilao argues that although the contribution hike might lengthen the life fund of SSS, the agency should improve first its collection from huge companies that fail to remit the contribution of its employees. Casilao also calls on the members of the SSS to air their opposition against the said proposal, as the prices of goods and services are already rising due to the implementation of a new tax law. Owners of sari-sari stores have nothing to worry about the proposal of the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, regarding the setting of suggested retail prices, or SRPs, for small stores. Joanano will tell us why.
Trade Undersecretary Attorney Ruth Castello clarifies that the Department of Trade and Industry is still studying the proposal to set suggested retail prices for sari-sari stores. Castello says it would still require a series of consultations before it gets approval.
We're consulting with the manufacturers, pati yung mga we will also schedule consultations with LGUs para matulungan tayo sa pag-impose ng SRP.
Should the plan push through, the DTI vows to impose higher SRPs for sari-sari stores, noting these small-time business owners buy their products from agents and supermarkets. Meanwhile, DTI personnel conducted a series of surprise inspections at several appliance stores and supermarkets in Balagtas, Bulacan. They confiscated several substandard electric fan, light bulb, rice cooker, and even plastic chairs.
Because it causes fire hazard nga, yung safety na nakokompromiso ang safety ng mamimili. Isi-set for hearing itong store na to. Worst comes to worst, kino-confiscate, pa after confiscation, kino-condemn, sinisira.
May mga papel po kami na may DTI, yung mga supplier namin. So makikipag-ugnayan na lang po kami sa iba namin supplier tulad nito kung bakit yung item na naibigay nila sa amin, wala po.
The DTI issues notice of violation to the airing appliance stores. The owners are also ordered to explain why they are selling unauthorized products. Meanwhile, the DTI also made rounds at some supermarkets in the province to catch business owners taking unfair advantage of the prices of several major commodities. Some supermarkets were found to have been selling products with prices a bit higher than the SRP. These products are several brands of powdered milk that were being sold 50 centavos higher than the suggested retail price. Prices of canned goods like corned beef, luncheon meat, and sardines are also higher than the SRP. The DTI also ordered the owner of the supermarket to explain the said violation. The agency explains although some have increased their prices, many are still following the SRP amid the tax reform law. The DTI calls on the public anew to report to their hotline number 0917-834-3330 any stores violating the SRP. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Bulacan.
Malacanang insists that there is no impasse after placing overall Deputy Ombudsman Melchor Arthur Carandang under preventive suspension. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte is the chief implementer of the law. This is the stand of Malacanang when the President placed overall Deputy Ombudsman Melchor Arthur Carandang under preventive suspension. Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales has earlier questioned this decision based on the Supreme Court ruling on the case of Gonzales versus the Office of the President in 2014. The SC declared unconstitutional the provision in the Ombudsman law granting the President disciplinary jurisdiction over a Deputy Ombudsman. Such provision is a violation of the independence of the Office of the Ombudsman. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque says they do not need to consult with the lawmakers on this seeming impasse between the Ombudsman and the Office of the President.
There is no impasse. The President is the chief implementer of the law and he will enforce the law.
Roque adds that during the administration of former President Noynoy Aquino, some deputy ombudsmen were dismissed.
It was President Aquino that actually removed I think not one, not two, but even three deputy ombudsmen. So let's just say to the opposition that they have the same view that the president has the power to discipline all unimpeachable officers.
Malacanang says the Duterte administration is not threatened with the statement of Senator Antonio Trillanes that the action against Carandang is an impeachable offense. Roque says Carandang has 10 days to answer the complaints filed against him, and if not, the office of the president will decide on the matter. Carandang can also question his preventive suspension through a court.
That's the call of Deputy Ombudsman Carandang. If he feels that the president's order, assuming jurisdiction to discipline him, is wrong, let him go to court. But we will implement the law. There cannot be an impasse. There's only one sitting president in this country, and he will implement it.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Commissioner Al Pareño will become the next acting chairman of the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC. Pareño will replace Commissioner Christian Robert Lim, who is set to retire tomorrow. Al Pareño was chosen by the COMELEC Bank to lead the commission as he is the next most senior official of the poll body. Aside from Christian Robert Lim, Commissioner Arthur Lim will also retire tomorrow. Malacanang has initially announced the appointment of Commissioner Sheriff Abbas as the new COMELEC chairman. However, Abbas could not preside over the said position pending the confirmation of the Commission on Appointments. Let's take a look at the traffic situation now along some major roads in Metro Manila. On Mega Q Mart, the vehicles are fast moving on the lane going to Cubao. Motorists going to Monumento are also experiencing light traffic flow. On 5th Avenue in C3, Caloocan City, the traffic is green and go on the lane going to A Bonifacio. Vehicles are also fast moving on the lane going to A Mabini. On Alabang Sapori Road, motorists going to Ayala Alabang and Las Piñas City are experiencing light traffic. The flow of vehicles is also light on the lane going to Muntinlupa City and SLEX. On Marcos Highway, Santolan, Pasig City, vehicles are fast moving on the lane going to Cubao. While motorists going to Masinag are experiencing moderate flow of vehicles. Wish 107.5 will hold a celebration tomorrow to thank its 2 million YouTube subscribers. Here's why from Leslie Longbowen.
The #1 FM YouTube channel in the country, Wish 107.5, will bring millions of thanks to its 2 million YouTube subscribers. With this, certified wishers can expect 2 million joys with a special treat prepared by Wish FM.
We're going to celebrate the 2 million subscribers ng #1 FM YouTube channel ng Wish 107.5. At in line with this, we're also going to grant 2 million worth of wishes starting this February 2. So we're going to grant this 2 million worth of wishes for 2 months. So this will run until April.
Aside from wish granting, Wish FM will also feature free musical entertainment by OPM artists and bands. Wish FM's Thanksgiving Bash will be held tomorrow at the Century's Open Grounds at 2 in the afternoon. Meanwhile, the mini concert, part of the hometown tour of the finalists of the biggest online singing competition, Wish Recovery, will begin next week. On Monday, Hazel Bartolome will serenade her fellow Caviteños. Thursday, February 8, Carmela Ariola will perform in Batangas.
Ipaalala sa iyo ang nakalimutan sumpaan.
Bulaqueños can witness Louie Ann Colala's performance on February 12. Meanwhile, teen Queen Wishful Kimberly Baluzo will perform on February 15 in Camarines Norte. Fans still await who will win in the wildcard edition of Wishcovery and join the Wishful Four in the grand finals. Leslie Lumbowen, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Next on Y News. A former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court warns of negative effects of government shift to federalism. And the National Democratic Front cries harassment over arrest of NDFP consultant Rafael Bailosis. Y News will be right back. The committee formed to review the Constitution will start its job this month. The Senate says it is open to adopt the recommendation on that committee will submit. Here's why from Ray Pelayo.
The Consultative Committee is preparing for the review of the 1987 Constitution. President Rodrigo Duterte has earlier appointed its 19 members who will be headed by retired Supreme Court Chief Justice Renato Puno. The former Chief Justice says they will immediately convene after the group takes its oath before President Duterte in the second week of February. Some of the members of the committee are former Senate President Aquilino Pimentel Jr., former Supreme Court Associate Justices Antonio Nachura, and Bienvenido Reyes. In December 2016, President Rodrigo Duterte released Executive Order No. 10 that ordered the creation of a consultative committee that will conduct consultations and review the provisions of the Constitution concerning the structure and power of the government, local governance, and economic policies. The committee is given 6 months to submit report, recommendation, and proposal to the President. The President says the Constitution should be amended to be able to give way for the federal form of government. Senate President Aquilino Pimentel III says they are ready to adopt the recommendation of the Consultative Committee even if they are now conducting a hearing on charter change.
Source material din yun, reference material din po yung output nila, yung transcript ng kanilang discussions. This can help us.
Meanwhile, the PDP Laban Federalism Institute launches a book that contains the version of federalism that they are campaigning. The book will be among the material data that will be endorsed to the committee. Ray Pilayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
A former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court has warned about the possible negative effect of shifting the form of government to federalism. Other framers of the 1987 Constitution also believe that now is not the proper time to revise the Constitution. Here's why from Nel Marie Buhok.
The Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments today resumes the deliberation on the proposed revision or amendment of the Constitution. For former Supreme Court Associate Justice Vicente Mendoza, federalism will only jeopardize the country's strength because of the divisiveness it will bring.
Federalism will fragment this country, I repeat. And the failure of this experiment will be long-lasting.
Mendoza says that instead of federalism, the government should just focus on strengthening the autonomy of local government units. The former Associate Justice adds that if the move to amend the Constitution pushes through, the issue on political dynasty and midnight appointments should be addressed. Mendoza also believes that it is not appropriate to coerce the charter change through a constitutional assembly.
It is my opinion that a change in the system of government would require a constitutional convention.
Christian Monsod, one of the framers of the 1987 Constitution, agrees with Mendoza.
I agree that a constitutional convention has more merits, maybe more qualified people. But a constitutional convention of delegates elected by district will likely be dominated by the same political dynasties in the present.
Monsod adds that federalism is not imperative if the only aim for it is to strengthen the local government units.
So instead, of a premature structural shift to a federal parliamentary system, why not start enacting now the fiscal decentralization and other legislation that will already devolve more power and resources to the 14 poor regions and the LGUs?
Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Former Congressman Jacinto Paraz wants to revive the impeachment complaint against Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. Grace Cassin will tell us why.
Former Negros Oriental Representative Jacinto Paraz calls on members of the House of Representatives to endorse their impeachment complaint against Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. Paraz believes that it is high time to impeach Morales after she defied the Malacanang suspension order against overall Deputy Ombudsman Melchor Arthur Carandang.
Under the Constitution, the only way na mananagot at the moment ang Ombudsman is through impeachment lamang eh.
Before the impeachment complaint against Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales was filed last December 2017, House Speaker Pantalon Alvarez confirmed that their congressmen expressed willingness to endorse the complaint. Paraz, however, says some congressmen have changed their minds due to fear that the ombudsman might get back at them.
So, kung kasuhan ka, isang araw lang investigasyon, pagka galit sa iyo si ombudsman, file na kaagad. O, kaya yun ang kinakatakutan.
On the other hand, House Committee on Justice Chairman Reynaldo Umali says if someone endorsed the complaint, then they are constrained to hear the case. The Ombudsman has yet to comment on the issue. Meanwhile, Akbayan Party List Representative Tom Villarin has defended the Ombudsman, saying Morales' decision is commendable. Grace Cassin, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
The National Democratic Front of the Philippines criticizes the PNP's arrest of consultant Rafael Bailosis. Here's why from Rajel Adora.
At itong pag-aresto sa kanya, napakalaking kaduwagan dahil wala naman po siyang krimen na ginawa.
Several militant groups held demonstrations in front of Camp Crame to condemn the arrest of National Democratic Front of the Philippines or NDFP consultant Rafael Bailosis by the Philippine National Police or PNP. Bailosis and his companion Guillermo Roque were nabbed by police in Quezon City yesterday. In a statement, NDFP National Executive Committee member Luis Halandoni argues the government's arrest of Bailosis and Roque is a clear violation of the Joint Agreement on Safety and Immunity Guarantees or JASIG. The NDFP also seeks to hold President Rodrigo Duterte accountable for what it describes as his harassment of NDFP members. On the other hand, Police Director General Ronald Bato de la Rosa says the arrest of Bailosis and Roque has nothing to do with JASIG.
Nakita siya doon, may dalang baril, inaresto. Kinasuhan siya ng illegal possession of firearm. Wala siyang standing warrant of arrest ha.
Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque meanwhile explains the police could not arrest the NDFP members on the basis of JASIG.
Kung sa yung JASIG ngayon dahil wala ng peace talks, bakit sila nagja-JASIG ngayon? Pangalawa, anong pagbabiolate sa Karin? Inaresto ang Karin po, human rights and humanitarian law. Kung may kaso yung tao.
Bailosis is the first consultant of the NDFP arrested by the state after the government's peace talks with the communist group was stalled and after the president declared the CPP-NPA a terrorist group last year. Rogel Adora, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Congressional Oversight Committee on the Automated Election System wants to investigate an allegation against the data issued by vote counting machines used in some regions in the May 2016 elections. Here's why from Nel Maribuhok.
The Congressional Oversight Committee on the Automated Election System wants to inquire on the alleged discrepancies of data in vote counting machines in some regions used in the May 2016 elections. Senator Francis Escudero says a former poll official approached him last year and told him that there were discrepancies in the data in the backup and main drives of the VCMs.
May printout kami nakuha pero mas maganda manggaling sa testigo mismo na nagsasabing hindi mirror image yung backup drive nung main drive.
One of the features of the VCMs that were used in the May 2016 elections was that once a physical ballot is fed in the VCM, it will scan the ballot and will store the image in the SD card. The committee wants to know how many backup drives were able to transmit and their possible implications on the result of the votes.
Ang sunod na tanong, ilan ba rin sa backup drive ang ginamit? Dahil kung hindi sa accurate picture o carbon copy ng main drive, mag-iiba yung resulta to a certain degree. To what extent, hindi ko alam.
But despite this, outgoing acting poll chairman Christian Robert Lim assures there are no discrepancies in the data based on their official records.
Ang sa akin, pag hindi mag-match yung ang main at saka backup, ibig sabihin hindi makalabas ng resulta yung machine. Medyo kakaiba yun, no? But we're confident in our systems that this was tested, no?
The committee clarifies that the inquiry has nothing to do with the protest of former senator and losing vice presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos. Marcos claims there is an anomaly when he presented some of the copies of the ballot images from the 2016 elections. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
In other news, former Iglesia ni Cristo Minister Lowell Menorca's battle for asylum has finally paid off. Here's why from Lerma Macaburas.
Lowell Menorca should be considered a person in need of protection from a risk of cruel and unusual treatment or punishment and a risk to his life. This has been the decision of the Canadian International Refugee Board, or IRB, in the petition filed by the former minister of the religious group Iglesia ni Cristo, or INC. The IRB believes the statements of Menorca are credible. On the other hand, the Minister's Council of INC failed to submit any evidence disproving the accusations of Menorca. According to the former INC minister, the supposedly several days of process of hearing took more than a year due to the many counter petitions sent by the members of the religious group.
Kaya tumagal kasi ang daming ipinadala ng INC na iba't ibang mga tinatawag nila unsolicited letters. Kumbaga nire-report nila everything that they can do just to convince the board to deny my claim.
Menorca is worried with the safety of his wife and children. He is hoping that he can finally be with his family at the soonest possible time.
Of course, having my family here, I'm trying every way na makuha sila, and I know that ever since lumabas itong decision, nag-escalate yung threat, not only for my life. Since I am now considered as a person in need of protection, a status given by the Canadian government, my fear now is for my family because they're very vulnerable.
Menorca also has this message to the top leader of the INC.
It's never too late. Maging si Apostol Pablo, na isa sa mga na namahala noon sa unang iglesia, siya nagkaroon ng kababaan ng loob, ng humility, na nagawa niyang sabihin na kahit nga ang mga apostol o kahit mga anghel sa langit, diba, magturo ng ibang aral na hindi nila ituro, itakwil ninyo. Pero sa panahon ng Ka-Eduardo ngayon, kahit na mali, basta galing sa kanya, basta itinuro niya, dapat ay sundin ng walang reklamo.
Menorca meanwhile apologized to Brother Eli Soriano, the host of the program Ang Dating Daan. The former INC minister admits he became part of the distraction against the international televangelists.
Ito yung aming pag-extend ng aming sincere apology sa lahat ng mga kapatid namin na Kristiyano, lalo na sa mga taga Ang Dating Daan, lalo na kay Brother Eli Soriano. Dahil sa naniniwala kami na ang tunay na Kristiyano hindi mapag-imbot, hindi nagtatanim ng sama ng loob at hindi gumagawa ng masama sa kapwa. At ako'y saksing buhay sa mga nangyari kay Brother Eli Soriano dahil sa ginawa ng pamunuan ng Iglesia ni Cristo. At naniniwala ako na maraming mga kaanib sa Ang Dating Daan ang talagang totoong Kristiyano, mababait, dahil marami din ako nakilala at mga naging kaibigan na mga kapanalig ninyo.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the INC has refused to comment on the issue. Lerma Macaburas, UNTV News and Rescue, Vancouver, Canada.
Coming up on Y News. A hospital in Atlanta reports 25% patient increase in the ongoing severe flu season. And star watchers poke fun at super blue blood moon with funny posts on social media. More from One News after this break.
Music enthusiasts will enjoy this year's Brazilian Film Festival. Leslie Longbowen tells us why.
Music is considered a universal language. Through music, they say, one can communicate across cultural boundaries. And this year, the 7th Brazilian Film Festival highlights music with the theme Brazilian Music in the Movies.
And this is a topic that I think will have much appeal to the Filipino public, because both Brazilians and Filipinos, we are passionate about music. We have a musical soul, in a way. And this festival will feature films dedicated to a variety of rhythms, beats, melodies.
This film festival features different Brazilian music genres and music personalities. Meanwhile, Filipinos were delighted to know more about Brazilian music and culture through their films.
Because I thought that it's the exchange of the cultures between Brazil and the Philippines. And the quality-wise, they are really good movies. So it's not a waste of time.
Since ang Filipinos are very musical at ang Brazilian music has Spanish and African influences, I think it's very enriching for us to know about this kind of music.
The 7th Brazilian Film Festival will run until tomorrow at UP Cine Adarna. Leslie Lomboan, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Meanwhile, star watchers poke fun at the super blue blood moon with a funny posts on social media. Here's why from Nina Armilio.
Sky gazers tirelessly awaited the rare celestial show last night, the super blue blood moon. All eyes and cameras were on the rare triple show. It has been 36 years since the lunar phenomenon was witnessed in the Philippines, while other countries set eyes on it 150 years ago. As this phenomenon has been the talk of the town, will the phrase "once in a blue moon" become "once in a super blue blood moon"? And as expected, Filipinos turned to the social media and used their creativity on their posts. Just like Brel Sagigit's hugot post. Kahit gaano pa kaganda ang buwan, iiwan ka din yan pagdating ng araw. Or roughly translated in English, no matter how beautiful the moon is, it will leave you when the sun comes. Hannah Opal, on the other hand, while watching the eclipse posted, yung moon parang siya, unti-unting nawawala. Or he is like the moon, slowly disappearing. Meanwhile, June Riles says, ang ganda ng moon, pero mas maganda ang munting sandaling makasama ka. Or the moon is such a beauty, but little time spent with you is more beautiful. But the witty and the hungry saw the moon in a potato and a donut. And look at this bald head that shone as brightly as the moon last night. The lucky ones had better view to photograph and post in social media. And still, others were in gloom as last night's event did not meet their expectations. The more resourceful and creative ones found ways to have better shots posted on social media, just like Mark Benalla, who from indoors took a shot of last night's event with the help of his computer and of Google. But most people took to the old reliable TV sets and waited for the news about the super blue blood moon. Nina Armilio, UNTV News and Rescue.
And if you missed the super blue blood moon everyone was going crazy about last night, don't worry because you can see something just as good next year. Here's why from Abby Valdez.
Those who have missed last night's rare super blue blood moon have more chances within the next year to see cool lunar sightings. As a quick refresher, last night much of the world saw a lunar eclipse when the Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon and our planet's shadow falls on Luna. The nickname blood moon comes from the fact that light passing through Earth's atmosphere bathes the moon in a rosy glow. A blue moon is the second full moon within a calendar month. A supermoon, meanwhile, means a full moon when our natural satellite is at perigee, its closest point to the Earth, when it appears slightly larger in the sky. All three of these phenomena lined up for the super blue blood moon last night. The next super blue blood moon, or lunar trifecta, will happen exactly 19 years from now, on January 31, 2037. That's a long time to wait, though consider the last one before yesterday's was in March 31st, 1866. That's more than 150 years ago. Now, you won't have to wait nearly as long to see the individual circumstances that make up the super blue blood moon. The next blue moon is coming right up on March 31st, 2018. The next total lunar eclipse, blood moon, will occur on July 27, 2018. That eclipse will be totally visible over parts of Africa and Asia. And the next supermoon will come later this year during the full moon of December 22, 2018. These two factors come together for a super blood moon on January 21st, 2019.
Now, get out your binoculars and have a look at this one.
It'll be visible from start to finish over the entire United States, and it will look just as impressive as the super blue blood moon last night. The only part you'll be missing is the blue moon, which is an arbitrary artifact of our calendar system. The next blue moon total lunar eclipse will happen on December 31st, 2028, though it won't be quite as large since it will not be as close to Earth. Next super blue blood moon will happen exactly 19 years from now on January 31st, 2037. That's a long time to wait, though consider the last time it was seen in Europe, Africa, and Western Asia in December 1866, that's only 35 years ago, as compared to North America, which last saw a lunar trifecta in March 31st, 1866. That's exactly 151 years ago. Abby Valdez, UNTV News and Rescue, USA.
Those are the reasons behind the news of February 1, 2018. I am William Theo.
Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I'm Angelo Castro III.
And I'm Darlene Basingan, because we need to know, we will always ask why.
Thank you for watching
Why News.